outplays Claude in lane if he ended up picking up the Leslie.
Okay. Let's see here what will be the approach here. You mentioned that the carry isn't good enough.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
We saw it earlier.
Like, carry, mid, late, okay, great. But early game, she's so easily punished that the Claude usually has a good time early game, even before level 4, and after Blazing Duet, it's even worse. So it really depends. If you want to pick up a carry, that's okay, but utilize something in the mid that can rotate quickly and clear very quickly as well to support the carry in that gold lane.
Exactly. And right now, I mean, the lineup doesn't scream fast rotation, especially on the Minotaur and the Valentina. But if that Claude is going Paquito rather, is going to the jungle, that does scream fast wave cleared. So if ever they're going to be leaning towards a carry, then they will have the conditions that you mentioned in turn for them to go ahead and pick that up. And maybe that's why they're taking out the Cho.
Wow, really here? More bans towards JP.
It's going to be a Diggy, I feel like. That's going to be a Diggy pickup. But then the jungle hero of Echo needs to be something like either a Marcus or a Fredrin.
Okay.
Yeah. Marcus or Fredrin, either or.
I think save Rome for last.
Yeah.
I think
Use it to flex.
Yeah.
I would secure, honestly, a Martis here.
Okay.
Just because of the anti-CC, it won't be able to be harassed by the Minotaur and potentially the Valentina as well.
And at the same time, at least you'll have someone who can just like, chain kills together. Because at least I'll have an insurance policy from early to mid if ever the Claude will take too long.
Okay. Really, no, it's gonna be the Grok here. It seems
it's a Grok roam.
So it's a Grok roam for JP. They're not gonna flex and utilize it for that last pick here. So, what will they respond here? I think.
You know what? I'm gonna admit something. In our letter to the teams, in my letter to AP Bren, I told them, hey, if you guys ever play Jawhead, especially Jawhead Gold, I will share my box of donuts with you.
Ooh.
It's been going on this entire SPS. If they show up Jawhead here, I think I'm actually gonna cry.
You owe them.
Just straight up tears of joy.
I have a feeling it's going to be carry though, guys.
Carry.
Or
Carry makes
Lunox. Lunox gold lane, does that work?
Not really a Super Marco thing to do.
Alright.
The only other mage or magic damage dealer he'll play in the gold lane is the Nathan. So yeah, carry.
Carry Purify.
Really
There's no more choice. With the Grok being picked up, they won't have enough damage to punch through the front line coming in from Echo. So they're forced into that carry pick. We've seen Akai being picked up as well.
Yep.
Is this Flex or is this Roam Akai?
Oh no, that's Jungle Akai for
Jungle
sure.
Akai?
For crowd easy.
Awesome.
Jungle Akai, carry, forced to use that Purify here. Still good when it begins to.
They can still slot in the Diggy here, I think. They can put the Grok in the jungle.
Grok jungle, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. It's kind of sus. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced here if that is the approach that they're going to commit.
Martis.
Martis, yeah.
Martis.
Those were the ones where we just got. Oh, a Link for Zaida. I wouldn't think he'd pick up the Link considering that he's already up against an Akai, a Minotaur, a Paquito, even a Valentina. Interesting. Okay, so Echo want to play macro here. Very macro heavy lineup potentially.
Very risky as well. Let's see if it's gonna work out. Connie, any final thoughts on these two rosters?
I think I dislike that Ling.
You don't like the Ling?
Yeah.
Let's see if the casters like the Ling. Ring, ring, ring.
Mosh Mosh, Leo and Mirko Desu, we actually like the Ling because it's the needed bit of finishing power that'll give Echo a fighting chance against top seed in Group B.
I agree with you, Leo. I mean, looking at the way that Echo have been winning, especially against Bigatron Alpha as well, it comes down to how they're able to make it very sporadic. Don't go for these team fights 5v5. Go for these team fights 5v5, but change the angles a bit. Make it a little bit, get jiggy with it.
Yeah, get jiggy with it. And here you'll see, both of us actually predicted the same, right? 2-1 in favor of the recently crowned IESF Asia Oceania Qualifier champions, AP Bren. Also, SEA Games go. Oh, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that. No, Leo, bad. No, okay? That never happened.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
It's SPS time. Here we go. Game number 1 in the land of Dawn. And it's a counter mirror start. Zaida on his orange first. And Kyle Teasy on his purple. Looking at our quick starts and look.
I'm
He
looking.
wants an early 4.
Ooh. All right, interesting start here already. Going over to the XP lane, getting level 2 now. JP, a lot of damage placed onto him early on. They're trying to force a flicker out, but JP holds on, has that power of nature to get out.
Yep. Quick look at our emblems here. Oh no, is this? Yeah, possibly the most number of common emblems in a single team yet.
3. Claude, Grok, and the Uranus. Now, we have seen a lot of Claudes, well, all the Claudes, and a lot of Uranus, all the Uranus.
Some glue.
Grok. We haven't seen a lot of that. A common emblem, Grok.
Sustainability is the key. Again, Grok is a tank that needs mana. Now wait, they oblige.
All the way under the tier 1. JP still holding on to the flicker, but now gets engaged on. The heavy spin takes him out. Few with first blood.
Minute and a half in, AP Bren finds a quick first blood up top, and this isn't going to bode well for that turtle take rate for Echo. And the matter of fact is they're continuing to bully. Outplayed.
We've been mentioning this a whole lot, man. Claude does good into the carry now, but when you have these many members up top, outplayed, forced to use a BMI, losing the entirety of the gold cannon minion. JP now caught in the midst. Another kill for Few as early as the first minute.
And this is going to be enough time for AP Bren actually make their way down through the map. What's going to happen here is Echo is going to read the room and say, you know what? This turtle isn't as free as we think it is. AP Bren making the call to send Coyote back into his purple and then come back all the way until the turtle. This is a delayed turtle take rate. A little bit more of a thing that was in a trend in mid-2022, and it's coming back now given how the meta is slowly going into a renaissance state. Real quick, something to note here, the fact that up top we got 2 kills off AP Bren. Akai still deals a ridiculous amount of mana. You just don't read it. Yeah, you just don't understand why, but that's just how Akai was never touched, even in the post-patch meta.
I honestly really like Kaltizi's choice of emblem here, going for the concussive blast for a little bit more damage when he jumps in. And now we're seeing just a free turtle take here. There's no way Zyda can get here in time. That's going to be, JP jumping in with a wild charge, but now stolen away. Heavy spin, locking them down. Few using the wild charge by himself as well. JP now taken out by the wild panda.
That's a 3rd death on JP. Good news is he's the roamer. He can afford it. Bad news is it's given AP Bren a 2,000 gold lead already. Zyda comes in.
I don't know about this, man. Sanford still able to survive with the consecration. Zyda in the midst right now. Top of the blaze used up. Flap TZ falls. Zyda. We're gonna take it out though. That's the Kung Fu in the panda.
They're playing with the economy. They're forcing out answers. And so far, Echo are clapping back. Echo are presenting a threat. It's not so easy. Nothing comes for free. But in the end, if this continues at this rate, AP Bren's gonna come out on top, not just in the laning stage, but even in the mid game, especially since we're looking at Super Marco on a carry. When it comes down to it, toe-to-toe, especially in the 9-10 minute mark, it's so difficult, especially when you're looking at damage like this.
Oh, wild charge comboed in with a rough waves, petrify from Sanji. Ogwen with a desperate minion's fury, trying to stop that from happening, but it still goes through. Few taken out. But back to the point, I agree with you. I think here, AP Bren, they've gotten a significant lead, and through their trio mid, they can push this even further. It's all about the trio mid for AP Bren.
Yep, and the reason why that was a win for Echo just then, and it stopped the ballooning of that lead up to 3,000, is because the trio mid was absent. For a second there, they were separated, and that's why now they're making up for it. Some lost time, presence in mid here, propping up for the second turtle take. Coyote, all right, forced Zyda with the retry.
Beautiful one. I mean, now 13 seconds for the turtle. It should be another freebie for AP Bren. They have a retry advantage and a heavy spin. It's automatically never a 50-50. And down below as well, this Paquito pick into a Uranus. Fatizi understanding the situation, knowing turtle's up top.
Oh, he's buying time. He's pinning down 4 members of Echo. He's saying, hey, if you're not going to answer me, then this is a free lane. And just the same, Echo finds it. They understand that we're not touching turtle anyways. Let's make the most of this down bottom. First turret goes down, and then AP Bren makes up for it over at the turtle. But wait,
Petrify, rough waves, wild charge, everything thrown at Flap TZ, taking him out even though he's under the tier 2.
all right, you know what? That last sequence, win for Echo. they made more economic damage there, but wait, they come up to mid.
They've used a lot of resources here. Kaltizi is going to be able to walk out of this one easy peasy. AP Bren taking a turret up top, trading. You're never going to see AP Bren just get beaten in these trades, these 50-50s.
Yep, delayed response here, but then all the while, AP Bren still chalked it up to a return anyways, right? They got to push up top. Now they're picking a fight in mid, terrifying Sanford. No one home. They're looking for an angle here. Heavy spin online. All ults up for AP Bren.
Grouping up very early on. Few dodging away from the breath of the ocean. Meanwhile, Kaltizi trying to go for this purple buff. Walks in range side up. Beautiful retribution to secure it. Could have been a very disastrous steal for Echo, but they still hold on.
And that's what's important here. The fact that Echo in the post-laning phase understand the dynamics that, hey, they're going to start taking what we have and start trying to isolate us, and now Sanford pops his Purify.
Even with the Purify, still pinned down for a bit, but it is a very tanky Uranus with Brave Smite. Pops into Consecration, gets out. A bit more pressure down for AP Bren, but Echo, again, are still holding on. Now, the question I want to ask you now is Echo trying to just weather out the storm, waiting for those power spikes to finally hit?
And the answer that you're looking for is yes. They have a Claw that needs to farm. They have a Ling that needs to farm. And I think it's down to AP Bren to actually pick up the pace. This is one of the few times that they can actually bully Echo. Because when we do hit the post-late game phase, I'm looking at 14-15 minutes. If Echo isn't put down under, Echo's going to take control. If anything, Echo can actually just snap into position at the First Lord if AP Bren don't take them down harder. So now it's up to AP Bren. I'm wondering if they're gonna get lost in that craze, if they're gonna get lost in their own aggression.
Let's see though, because Super Marco, that late game entrance for Bren as well, is about to hit that item power spike. Very close to the 3-item power spike. Ogwen jumps in, heavy spin from Kaltizi, free turtle over to AP Bren. 4-3 in kills, very close, but in the neutral objective game, it is all Bren.
Yep. But then again, it still holds true, right? Even if it seems like AP Bren is so far ahead, you have to respect the fact that Echo are just ramping up to an eventual power spike. It's delayed gratification here for Echo. They might seem like they're not doing much now, but wait, they find a wild charge!
Oh, in the back, Ogwen with the Minions Fury gets outplayed out, and the damage is not going to be enough. That's also a wild charge by Baptiste now in the midst. Zyda able to escape. That's a defensive blazing duet, but Flap just punches through everyone to find JP.
And here, it's evident that JP doesn't have enough items yet. Again, now Echo's feeling the effects of him getting beat down in the early game. 4 deaths even before the 6-7 minute mark. So now, JP has to understand that, yeah, I have to do better at protecting myself.
Wow.
Oh! The heavy spin displaces Sanji. So yeah, again, here in the mid to late game, this is the ramp up. Echo have to be careful. Now it's come to the point wherein they only have 1 tier 2 left.
Even here, man, I mean, Zyda is trying to just look for scraps on the map. Good damage on the Kaltizi, though. No heavy spin, they understand it. They want to punish it. Kyle's still able to survive, though. Time to blaze used up. Kyle gets out. The blazing duet from outplay, but there's no way he'll take these frontliners down.
And there you'll see all the space that has been bought for AP Bren, specifically for Super Marco. No deaths, 1 kill, and just barreling forward in gold earned. This is as funnel as it gets. He is 2,000 gold ahead of his closest rival in Zyda. So yeah, Miracle, you mentioned how he's going for scraps. Still pretty good scraps, and now it's a scuffle for the purple. Zyda still gets it.
Zyda, even in the game against Bigatron Alpha, the question we raised was how? How in the world is he above Super Ken when he's behind, when the team is behind? And now you get the same feeling. Kaltizi all throughout this game has been dominating, but look who has the level lead. It's Zyda. Again in game number 1 up against Bren, AP Bren.
He just knows how to use space. He just knows how to use his hero's kit. Between an Akai and a Ling, even with the Akai ahead, even with Kaltizi calling the shots most times when they go into team fights, Zyda knows that, all right, we have been losing all of these early to mid-game engagements. Let me focus on what I can do. And that's taking turrets and pushing waves wherein you're not there. You have to come get me. not the other way around. So that's why Echo are keeping this lead as tight as possible. Barely 5K, 6K now at 10 minutes and a half with the Lord marching through. But it's getting smaller. The space that Zaida can actually find and build up a farm for himself is getting so much smaller.
Oh, Sanji displaced once again by the heavy spin. Good disengage from Kaltizi. Stanford now walking in JP with a wild charge to the back, but it gets melted down.
Oh.
The Midnight Fury connects, and that's another follow-up in the back flap. Easy dealing damage to Marco without a flicker, not even using the Purify. Takes Sanji and JP out.
Like a trampoline that looked like. The fact that Bren are so far ahead now, they've gotten an 8,000 gold lead inside the base. It's just outplayed in Zaida.
It might be over just here, 11 minutes in, outplayed. Wow, one splash of damage, and it takes all of his HP out. Now the base wide open, they're gonna go for it. 11 minutes.
AP Bren are rushing this. Is that the fastest game we've had all day today?
Yeah, it's a speed run by AP Bren.
I wasn't ready to call it just yet.
Me neither.
Folks at home, we were expecting much more here, but